On a hot sunny day, on my day off, I like to spend my time with Cortinas. Today, it's hooked on classics. We've got a Pinto to get going. Rearrange a few spark plugs, find top dead centre, find the compression stroke, hook up a bit of old electrical wire. See if we can get this started. Boom! Scared, yeah.
Some archaeology is going on here. I don't know if you can see this all that well. Look what I found. After Pete's initial video on this car, finding all these electronic gadgets. That's a 5 amp fuse. There's a resistor of some description. We have a little plastic clip in blue. We have some kind of electronic gadget of some type. It's like a connector at the back of a stereo, maybe, or in the back of a speaker. You have a little tiny pin there and a bigger pin below it, and it's all coming out of this hole. Let's try and see if I can get anything else out of there. It's a bit difficult, there's not much light. There's bits of strange stuff. Hang on, back in a moment. I need to use the torch. I can film a bit more after that. Well, I found some more bits. Apart from the little resistor, there's a plastic cap. There's this little block. Not too sure what that's for. Something electronic. A bolt from something. Very, very rusty. Actually, that looks really familiar. That goes in the seat, in the back seat. Oh my god, that does. It's even got the countersunk washer on there. How weird. That came off and ended up inside the chassis rail. There's some little, what looks like, I don't know if that's electronic or not. Couldn't tell you. Some screws, some clips. I found a drill bit. God knows how long that had been in there. I had to break away some of the underseat, the sound deadening, to get in further into the hole. And there's still more in there. I just don't know what else is in there. There was something I could see, but this is an RS 5 amp fuse, and it looks to be intact. But that'll be going in the tin with all the other little pieces. What's this? That's something to do with circuit board, maybe, holding two things together. I'm not really sure. Oh yes, and this one. It's a little black ITT. I can't read the writing on the side because it's so dirty. But wow, more stuff coming out of TC from his previous life. Little washer of some description. Yeah, even a wrapper, and possibly a second wrapper from something. Does that look familiar? Was it on the previous? That little white strip. There's a black one there as well. But no, found all those little bits inside the chassis rail. But honestly, there is more in there, and I'm tempted to just vac it out. Well, I braved the panic and I started putting in plates. That was the first, hang on, take off zoom. That was the first plate I put in, but I quickly realised that it's not going to be curvy enough to fit, so I'd put a slice in there and then try and hammer it round. That was the second one I put in because there was a hole and it needed fixing. The underside isn't quite so pretty, unfortunately, which I will sort out. I put the triangle that I cut out of that piece of steel back in again, and I did put in the sill. What I'll do is I'll just put this back in a minute so you can actually see what it was. Ugh. What it is even. Oh, drat. Nothing works when you want it to. Right, so that now sits quite really nicely. Really nicely, all the way along. So I've still got a bit of fettling to do on the floor section, so I've got to weld that hole up, weld that hole up, weld the rest of the triangle. I've got to push it from the outside, or jam it with something against the jacking point, or the jacking marker. Then I've got to focus on the panel there, because it is still like a colander. Okay, as you would have seen me weld that one up a little while ago, doing something different with the other side. Let's walk around. New bolts, I'll talk about those in a minute. Let's go around. Okay, so the plan is to weld this plate in here.
Which you just made.
Which I just made. Which I fabricated and did the best I could. Let's try and get that in there. This magnet is super strong. Right, okay. So welding mask on. Clamp is on, yes.
Just that corner.
Just here.
Down the bottom. In there.
Okay. Right, so that is tacked. Gonna work our way around. I can feel that with a magnet. It doesn't like it, does it?
Okay, so you can get one there now. There or thereabouts.
Oh, did like that. Went straight through.
Weld onto this and backwards.
I need the hammer. Well, it's in. With a little advice from John, started putting all these tacks in and trying to weld it, and yeah, I kind of went a bit wrong over here, and I blew through the metal. And yeah, not overly happy. Oh, focus, you stupid phone. Not massively happy, but it is in, and it's solid. So at the end of the day, it's done. Hello everyone, welcome to Adventure 11 with TC. What you're looking at is a selection of nuts and bolts and Jubilee clips. Thankfully to Nigel into components, fellow biker as well, which is pretty cool. To have, where's that other one in there? These are for the radiator hoses, so I can cut them down as needed. We have interior bolts, screws, trim, all stainless. The ones for the back of the seat, which I was talking about before. Nice, shiny and stainless. So we get to put the seat back together at some point. Alternator bolts, tie bar bolts, and a few other bits and bobs in there as well. So let's go around to the front end of the car and get the bonnet up. Bonnet is open. Okay, so to start with, there is a bolt in the bottom of this alternator which is just in there temporarily, just to line things up. You can see it pretty much in the middle of your screen there. So what I'm going to do is lift the alternator, pull that bolt out and slot the new ones in. Well, what I've done, because the bolts for the alternator was slightly too long, what I've done is I have obviously put the bolt in a vise, do it up tight. You don't want this going anywhere. What I need to do is put a cut down through here and then take off the edges of the bolt itself, so it's not so sharp. It's like this, it's like tapered at the end. So what I'm going to do, grab the grinder, change the disc, so I've got a cutting wheel, and cut the end off. Well, that did move in the vise, unfortunately. Only very slightly, I think. There's quite a bit of force in a grinder. Now, after taking the end of that bolt off, is it there? Still quite hot. I've changed the disc over, so I've got a flap disc instead. So I'm just going to take the edges off this bolt. Unfortunately, my camera decided to stop recording while I was fitting the nut, so as you would have seen, I was cleaning the edge of that off, and just to show you again that it goes on. Oh, there we go. There we go, it's on, no problem at all. You can feel the thread cleaning when you just go over the top of it, and it's always good to wind these down. Rub off the edges because it ends up being quite sharp. Just a quick note, I'm not a professional. Do not copy whatever I do, because if you hurt yourself, then you know, I wouldn't really want that. So what I'm going to do is measure up with the other bolt and cut that to length. I'll do that off camera, you don't really need to see it twice. So yeah, once I've done that, I can then bolt in the alternator and it won't go anywhere. It'll be nice and sturdy. There you go, freshly painted wheel. And it's a new tyre as well. So this wheel was pretty rusty. Cleaned it all up. There's a little bit of overspray, but that will go. But this is TC anyway. You know, doesn't need to be perfect, as long as it does the job. And everyone likes TC for that anyway. There we go. I'll take the both. Well, I've done a few jobs with TC today, mainly wheels. So here's a before shot. Crusty, rusty, not very nice. To that. I took the hubcap back off because I did notice when I put the hubcap on I damaged the paint and I want it to cure overnight, so I might give it an extra lick of paint, just mask stuff off and do that. On the other side of the car, oh yeah, I went and got some spark plugs as well for TC because he needs those. Put the other wheel on, so I painted that. That was the grey one which you'd seen prior, and I'm not too sure how it's come out. I thought I'd put it on the car so I can let it cure. I just really didn't want the car left on jacks overnight, apart from the back, because the back is up in the air for a reason. So yeah, I'll leave that on there for now, and yeah, I'll come back tomorrow and see how it looks.
Or not.
Right, just doing a bit of...
I don't know it's going to work yet.
Can but try.
No, we can but test for 12 volts. There is no try. We can but test for 12 volts, which is what we're going to do.
Feed C's on,
Right,
Hooks on Classics.
A long way to go yet. Where's that meter go? That shouldn't run like that. It should run better than that. It's having a go, like. Burning a lot of oil in there too. See all that coming?
That would have been me putting some...
Okay. Yeah. I'd have thought that would have gone. I really...
Whoa.
You try it, because I can't do it all. Cheers. They need more power, more electric. Should just jump straight in. They normally just jump straight in. It might not be timed right. It could be this that's out. It's getting there though. Don't need that, Chris. No. It's alright now.
Come on.
Well, there's only, we only go so far.
Was that one pushing back down?
No, not that.
No, is it not that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Heat seat is inside.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We need to do all them naughty lead on plug number 1. Completely snapped plug number 1 lead. No wonder we couldn't start that before. But we did it for Simone and we're out of here. This is Hooked on Classics. I'm going. Bye. Yeah.
We've got a magazine going on.
So I don't know what, they're not ours. This is a little feature
Ooh,
on
very
it.
nice.
Get that. Plastic photo.
Hehehe